On this episode of Beyond the Bean on Air, allow me to introduce you to one of your leading customers. But first, a quick update on what your checkoff has accomplished for you this spring. Words matter. While it wasn't the official slogan of the annual Animal Ag Alliance Summit, it was the primary message. Representatives from the U.S. poultry and livestock industries gathered to hear how words matter that can impact consumers. Keeping your messages simple, credible, and consistent while quickly sharing your passion creates a major impact and builds credibility with consumers. The United Soybean Board sponsored the summit, which brings together animal ag industry representatives to discuss ways to keep the U.S. animal ag sector viable and profitable. U.S. soybean farmers rely on ports to send their products around the world, but only a few can handle the larger ships that could start coming our way as a result of the expansion of the Panama Canal. Past USB Chairman Phil Bradshaw recently spoke at a Panama Canal expansion event, stressing the need for upgrades to our river locks and port infrastructure to be competitive in the future. Mississippi farmer and United Soybean Board Chairman Mark Curtis told farm broadcasters U.S. soybean farmers need to think beyond the elevator to be profitable in the future. Curtis shut his planter down at home and represented the soybean checkoff at the annual Washington Watch meeting held by the National Association of Farm Broadcasting. Hi, I'm Mike Adams, and we're here at the 2011 World Pork Expo held in Des Moines, Iowa. You know, hogs represent important customers of U.S. soybean farmers, along with poultry, cattle, and even fish. Here's why that's important to you and other U.S. soybean farmers.
When it comes to customers for U.S. soy, the poultry and livestock sectors here at home or abroad represent the largest by far. Knowing those customers helps ensure the future for profit potential. To help U.S. soybean farmers better understand their biggest customers' needs, the Soybean Checkoff launched an effort to get U.S. soybean farmers to better understand their end users beyond the elevator. This, in turn, allows U.S. soybean farmers to begin to consider soy meal quality needs.
Just make smart choices. If two varieties yield the same, use quality as a criteria to make your variety selection on. It's really that simple.
Visit BeyondTheElevator.com to get to know your biggest customers. Over the long run, ensuring strong demand from the poultry and livestock sectors helps ensure the profitability potential of every U.S. soybean farmer. I'm Erin Hom reporting for Beyond the Bean on Air.
Now, these animals will only be here to eat U.S. soybean meal if we can maintain U.S. farmers' freedom to operate. Next, we'll talk with a soybean and hog farmer to learn what's on his mind in terms of freedom to operate.
U.S. farmers work hard to take care of their farms, both crop and livestock. This keeps their operations productive and provides safe products for consumers. To continue efficient production, U.S. farmers need the freedom to run their operations.
Freedom to operate is the right that I have to do the job that needs to be done to raise healthy, productive animals to supply not only meat for the American consumer, but also meat for my family.
Hartke represents U.S. row crop farmers who also make poultry, livestock, or fish part of their operations. He clearly understands his future as a soybean farmer depends on a strong animal ag sector.
A big concern of mine in the freedom to operate is the future of animal ag. The future of animal ag is a necessity for a productive cropping operation. Why would a person want to invest in animal ag if he doesn't know that he has the ability to operate for long term? Because building a house like this is not a year or two investment.
The Soybean Checkoff identified the lack of freedom to operate as a top challenge for U.S. soybean farmers today. It's already working to protect your freedom to operate by supporting industry-wide initiatives such as Common Ground, the Center for Food Integrity, and the U.S. Farmers and Ranchers Alliance. This is Laura Schaefer reporting for Beyond the Bean on Air.
Consumers have a lot of thoughts these days about where their food comes from. This very topic drew a standing room-only crowd at a learning session the Soybean Checkoff sponsored at the 2011 American Farm Bureau annual meeting. The group learned how to balance consumer demands with the need for safe, nutritious, affordable meat and other food.
And it depends on how invested America is in having food security. And I think that's a point that should not be lost in the American public. It gets lost in the rhetoric and all the conversations about the minutia of what it means to raise animals and so on. But they also have to understand what they're giving up. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is put them into an either-or situation. Either you do it my way, or we leave and we go down to Brazil and Argentina and to produce. There's got to be some level of reconciliation with regard to what the expectations are of the public to have a food supply that is local and apparent and there for them to have some element of control over. And if you get to the point where you regulate somebody out of existence, what's going to happen when it moves offshore?
As we wrap things up, knowing your customers beyond the elevator serves as just the first step toward producing the best possible soybeans. That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Bean On Air. Learn more about your customers beyond the elevator at unitedsoybean.org. And be sure to check back with us next month as we discover new uses for your soybeans.